Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to BioShock Infinite. So we're still at the intro here of BioShock Infinite after an hour of gameplay. We're walking around, there's all these people that seem to be perfectly okay with me wandering around. There's been no gunfighting, there's been no interaction. We picked up a lot of things with health, we've picked up a lot of things with salt, but we haven't even gotten a salt meter in the game. There's no real secret separate place or hidden things to find. We're just picking up items. Here we have, I guess the girls are in stockings, but they have shorter dresses to match the shorts of the boys, even though the boys have rather high boots. You see, I don't even know what these two are saying. I didn't walk close enough to them first. Columbia's having this big festival and raffle, and we're picking up a few collectibles and money and such, but I seriously doubt it's gonna matter. And here we can see this big...
That's where they said I'd find her.
Telegram, Mr. DeWitt. Huh. Telegram for you, sir.
DeWitt, stop. Do not alert Comstock to your presence. Stop. Whatever you do, do not pick number 77. Stop.
Okay. So there's Monument Island, which is this Angels, where we're supposed to go to find the girl. The tower protects the lamb from the false shepherd.
Hello.
And so I think we're supposed to go that direction. So of course, good game player than I am, I'll go the wrong direction first. Here you can kind of hear music, but can't see through the glass. I kind of feel like the game looks a little dated because of things like that. Public displays of affection seem to still be alright in this rather not as conservative world as you would guess. And so you can see there's a different thing here. We can use the telescope, and well, we can see some jugglers. Those are interesting people, but that's kind of all we can see. There's no zoom here. Like, none of the buttons are actually zooming in.
One man goes into the waters of baptism.
And see, I pressed down on the D-pad and it played this, and I can't do anything. And up on the D-pad tells us what we're supposed to do.
Is both sinner and saint until he is revealed unto the eyes of man.
Should we go in?
So it's kind of weird how this whole setup is. We're supposed to go up here into this carnival, and like, if we're gonna fight the police,
Let me through here, pal.
Streets closed for your safety, fella. They're prepping tonight's fireworks back there.
There's enough TNT back there to blow Peking to Kingdom Come. Again.
Roadblock.
interesting.
Gotta find another way around.
So in this universe, they blew up. Somebody blew up Peking, China, which I don't know if that really ever happened in the real world. These two seem to be playing like jacks or something, but as best as I can tell, there isn't actually a jack, so maybe they're catching bugs and they're not animating the bugs. There's some kids running in circles.
There, friend.
Just people saying hello. And see, I can left stick to run forward.
Ain't she some kind of beauty? You know, that's where all the immigrants used to pass through.
I wish they still allowed average Janes and Joes to enter. You know, you gotta be somebody now.
So the weird thing is, when I looked in the telescope, there was a juggler here, and they're not here anymore. And this actually, like, I don't want to move any further because I think I could probably just fall off the edge. Is an intriguing little Easter egg that we hadn't seen before. Come back and use the telescope. They're gone. But they were there. So, Marlowe's patented Vigor's murder of crows. You know what's crazy about this game is the idea of Vigors in general just doesn't really fall into the idea of being purity, of being pure of your birthright, or pure of not drinking dangerous things like alcohol, because we haven't really seen any alcohol for sale in this game either. And the idea doesn't really make any sense. It's only Vigors only exist in this game specifically because they existed in BioShock 1 and 2. And honestly, they would be completely banned as evil in Colombia. Let's watch this. People are talking all over the place. The envy of all his peepers. Looks like Jimmy's friends are jealous of him. Because Jimmy's dad gave him a pack of cigarettes. Minor victory. The only brand designed especially for kids. So I guess if they're selling kids to cigarettes to kids, they are also cool with Vigors.
Those are no tall tales told behind the pool hall. No sir, no ma'am. Those are Vigors I'm talking about.
So,
brought to you courtesy of Mr. Jeremiah Fink himself.
Jeremiah Fink doesn't really play much of a role in this game at all. But
one swing and feats of wonderment are at the tips of your fingers.
There's several Vigors here.
You know
they're showing them off.
And he has asked Mr. Jeremiah Fink.
The idea of having magical powers, though, just seems like witchcraft, and it would get denounced as witchcraft. You can't go up here. You have this kind of electrified.
If I told you a man could shoot lightning from his fingers now, would you believe me? If I told you a man could hoist a 1-ton
So
straight into the air.
Clearly, the game is designed to hear him.
Whether you need it lifted, lofted, tossed, or tumbled, bucking bronco is just the ticket.
All right. So we can just play this. Protect the woman and child, hit the devil 3 times. We finally get something we can do in this game. Alright, use the left trigger. Where's the devil?
Well, that devil ain't getting any younger, friend. Yeah!
There he is.
And there's devil number 1.
Okay, so the devil's over there.
Devil number 2. Woo! He's on a roll.
Okay, so the devil's hiding behind different things. And we wait till she's out of the way and then we do it.
We have a winner. Here you go, friend. And remember, if you need it lifted, lofted, tossed, or tumbled, bucking bronco
And so I got
is your
some
answer.
money, but I don't really get to keep bucking Bronco as an ability. This is really just a demo section of the area. Let's try it.
See them villains zipping around, spreading their lies and dissent. Fear not, I got you secure. Grab a shotgun and go to work. You there? You
So let's use the shotgun. And 20 points to win. And we can get all of them, I guess, if we wanted to. So what are we trying to shoot? Five. And the targeting on this is rather easy. Missed a couple. Second place. And so I could keep on playing, but there's really no reason. Like, there might be an achievement in the Steam achievements for doing this. If there was, you kind of need a save space, and there's no save place here. So that would be kind of unfair. High Striker. And the idea is probably not to bring my attention to me myself, but whatever. There's so many elements in this game. Like, the idea of having electronic horses really doesn't play any role in the game. We've got some kids cigarette smoking. Assumedly, this probably raised the rating of this game, but they were going for a mature, I'm sure, anyways. Cast the devil out. And Columbia Flag Company over here.
Have you used one yet?
Oh my, no.
I have. Liar. Honest. Nearly blew the windows out of my house.
And so they're very big into Columbia.
Hot dogs, hot dogs, Alexander hot dogs, Columbia's finest, worth every cent.
It's worth mentioning that Columbia is the fictional Lady Liberty that the United States made up as a mascot. That's where you get the District of Columbia name from.
What's a voxophone? What's a voxophone?
So,
a personal record of voice.
Hey, just so we're clear, I'm not paying for this.
Just a demonstration, sir.
So this one's connected to a microphone. So we've seen several of those and picked them up already.
I usually wait till Fang works out the kinks when it's safe.
Make a memoir, record a ditty, recite poetry if you're a little lady.
We got people singing again. So Skylines will come into the gameplay later. So much will. So here's the Vox Populi. Clearly African descent people. So the difference between this test and the other one is just, instead of using a shotgun, we're going to have a faster gun that is going to be required for similar thing. And Anarchist Fitzroy, who is that? And see, you almost got it. You have to get almost a perfect game here to get over 20. So Daisy Fitzroy is somebody that's going to play a part. And we've got people singing, and we still really haven't gotten into the game yet. Another 15 minutes into it. And then they introduced a handyman that, again, like the Vigors, only really exists because in the BioShock games of 1 and 2, BioShock 1 and 2, they had Big Daddies, and they wanted some giant roaming boss like Big Daddies, called the Handyman, that is an actual person in a robotic suit. In fact, the Handyman is a sad version of Big Daddies. So here we have a salt machine. I don't believe these ever come back into play. They might work in the DLC section of the game. It just fills your salts, but I don't have any salts right now. Let's see what it's supposed to...
Has a pay telephone ever refused to connect you with a beloved spouse? Well, it's time to take back control from the men of metal. With possession, you are the master. You will bend any machine to your will.
Interesting.
Give me one of those.
So we drink possession.
They're all ears.
So this magic ability causes people to be enthralled and under your control for a while. Which questions why they couldn't just possess people to make them buy possession. Of course, we haven't seen any machines yet. With possession, you can make machines work for you.
What was that?
Let's use the projector. And it's the same thing, but only bigger. Here. And we now have some vials here of salts. And this is what we need to possess to go further. So they wanted to make absolutely certain that you had not gone any further without using a vigor. So you can see this guy's fighting a dummy. And these people are watching this kid yo-yo. And so this is the only actual gameplay. I could have just run to this point.
Sorry, pal. The raffle is all sold out. Entrance is reserved for dignitaries and very important personages alone.
Guessing that don't mean me.
So I can't get in. So I possess it.
Your spot at the raffle awaits. Don't know why I didn't recognize you before. Odd. Always good to have gentlemen of your caliber at our fine fairgrounds.
So we possess and we get through here and we meet these two again, who brought us here.
Heads.
Or tails.
Come on, let me through.
Heads.
Or tails.
So I can say flip the coin and see how it lands, and you can see that on the board that 12 heads, no tails have happened.
Told you. I never find that as satisfying as I'd imagined.
Chin up. There's always next time.
I suppose there is.
You can see on the back, it's always heads. And what's interesting there is that, like, I don't think we can take the coin.
We won't leave until you do. You have my word on that.
So these two play a big part in the story later. They're the people that brought us here. If you don't recognize them from the front, maybe you recognize them from the back. But you never get tails, regardless. If somebody did, let me know in the comments. But it doesn't matter either. Unlike BioShock 1, where whether you killed the little sisters or saved them made a big difference on the ending of the story. Here, nothing changes the ending of the story, as far as I know. Here we see a doll of a creature we don't know. And this is a vending machine. What can we buy here? Health kits, 100% salts, and 20% or 80% health kits. And that's it. And see, I think we can hear them starting the raffle in the background.
He looks lost.
He looks just fine to me.
Mary, you are a living, walking scandal.
Just take their money. They don't even care. You're robbing them blind.
The Father Franklin machines will be taking in new stock soon.
And see, this book is face down, but it's probably the Word of the Prophet book.
My role model? Why, Lady Comstock, of course.
The Prophet bless her and keep her.
So we've got some police over there. And over here, we've got nothing again. I'm just searching everything, acting as suspicious as possible, and nobody seems to care. And frankly, it's a little weird that nobody cares.
This little beauty? The whole division got them. We're gonna flush the Vox out of the Skyline system. We gotta have the best.
Huh? You got any openings in the group? I'd love to bust some Vox skull.
So this is a weapon we'll get that becomes our melee weapon. Giant inflatable Franklin things. Kind of out of place. The giant inflatable Washington and Franklin. And where's Jefferson? Again, we can look around the skyline. He's probably on the other side. So that statue just turned from a man to a woman, and that plays a big part, but you're not supposed to really understand what that means. And you can just hear them singing and having a good time. And see, this is an hour and a half of gameplay designed around the idea of our Lettice gave Columbia her wings, and so this person caused Columbia to fly. Let's listen to this.
Madam Lutece, I have read all your books on the sciences.
Lutece.
Mama says it's not a fit occupation for a lady, but I think she's jealous of our cleverness. Is it true that only you were allowed to visit the girl in the tower? If the lamb is lonely too, I should like to meet her, as we would have much in common. Warmest regards, Constance.
Constance Field. I don't think that's a name that plays any part in the previous games, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is some Constance Field character that came up in the previous games and I just don't recognize the name. And see, I don't see that third inflatable balloon of Jefferson. And they're just singing, and I'm just searching. I will be, I suppose, slightly ahead on money, a little bit ahead of the curve, but I don't know if money really matters too much if I'm not taking too much damage. Columbia Raffle and Fair. You shall know the shepherd by his mark. And see, you can see he has the brand on his hand, so pretty much they think he's the false shepherd. Jeremiah Fink wants you to attend the July 6th raffle, not July 4th raffle, July 6th. Interesting. And you can see on the left, my hand is glowing with that possession ability. It will do that every now and then just as a automatic reminder. It's kind of unimportant. Yeah, Jefferson is back there. He's just kind of impossible to see. And with the clouds and stuff, you can miss a lot. Here's the skyline. There he is. So this way is slowly getting to it, and I'm just wandering everywhere. I'm kind of intentionally making this longer than it should be, just to show what a real player who's OCD and wants to find everything might do. I'm not sure you end up searching very many letterboxes like that. Just, if you're trying to play thoroughly, you are going to want to do all these. Can't search the police department.
Sorry, son, this street is closed.
And back that way is closed. And this way is some salt. Which we do need salt now. We finally have that salt meter. If I recall correctly, there's kind of a weird layout of this game anyways, where this is another section that we'll dock later. You can accidentally continue and move the story forward. There's nothing to purchase here. Notice the audio goes quiet when you go like this. And see, these are the raffle ticket baseballs. We can see there is a machine. So, could I do this and possess that? Yes, I guess I can, but I have no enemies on the screen right now. So I've prepared, and I'll probably lose possession of that.
You always got a feeling.
So they're holding these baseballs, they're getting handed out. And then there's this nice fountain. A lot of this stuff just gets used probably only once or twice in the entire game, and they probably wasted some effort and some production cash, in a sense, and maybe production time, maybe production money, making the sections of the game up to this part look so good, considering it's not really the important part of the game. Everybody's been singing.
Raffle has officially begun.
Mister.
Who's yelling at me? And see, the raffle's begun. And ideally, I don't want to get recognized, and they say don't pick raffle number 77.
Would you like a ball?
And see, this lady is, and they're blocking me completely, and everybody else has a ball, and so I'm gonna have to pick a ball.
Hey, handsome, come over here.
Who knows? Maybe I'll win passage to Monument Island. Sorry, no sale.
Silly. There's never a charge for the raffle. You've been sleeping under a rock?
77.
And he picked 77.
That's a lucky number. I'll be rooting for you.
Bring me the bowl. Is that not the prettiest young white girl in all of Columbia?
So here's where the racism comes in.
The winner is
And you're supposed to be pretty surprised at this point.
number 77 coming.
And I'm locked into a cutscene. And so you have maybe a half white man, half black man, but maybe all white man, and a black woman, and some pretty racist thing. And I'm gonna throw it. You can either throw it or throw it at the announcer or throw it at the couple. If I throw it at the couple, it doesn't matter. You get caught regardless.
That brand, boy. Don't you know that makes you the backstabbing snake in the grass false shepherd? And we ain't letting no false shepherd into our flock. Show them what we got planned, boys!
And all of a sudden, this beautiful looking white area becomes this bloody, all out of the place section. Every single person everywhere has left. And when you see a dead of, when you see a skull above the enemy, press hold Y to execute. And so it's this rotating it's this rotating hooks that you have, and hats are on the ground. And again, if you hadn't done anything, you would have been caught, I'm sure. The story doesn't change when it gives you decisions, and it really sucks. And so for this section, you're gonna do some bloody carnage on these guys. But then they're gonna kind of quickly stop being your main enemies. You're gonna fight people that are stronger, they have guns. And you can see people, most of the citizens did just run. And at least on normal mode, you can do a pretty easy job here. I guess they're making it pretty easy because I needed to get a gun, and now that I have a gun, I can move forward. Now my health bar is not incredibly high, so that is something to remember. My pistol ammo is at the maximum, and we are sneaking back behind here where the fireworks were. Let's see.
I told you, Comstock. You sell them paradise, and the customers expect cherubs for every chore.
I'm buying a new ability that I can equip.
No menial. Possession now turns machine and man into allies.
So that'll help.
Hold and release to create a ghostly trap.
And you can hold and release and make a trap, which is nice.
In God's kingdom? Well, I have a man in Georgia who'll lease us as many Negro convicts as you can board. Why, you can say they're simple souls in penance for rising above their station. Whatever eases your conscience, I suppose.
So, in charging up, I could only use that ability twice. And my gun's not particularly the best as far as auto-aiming. Let's see, we're trying to escape, and we'll use the fireworks launchers while we're at it. And we can go ahead and lock that into working for us. And he is over there shooting people because I'm supposed to jump. Practically, I'm supposed to jump from this point over there. But in the meantime, while I'm working on that, we can do all of this. And so, if you didn't still get it, the raffle was about basically stoning an interracial couple for having the audacity to probably date. Here you can see a box has been left. This is the standard way in which they despawn elements of the game to save a memory. So, no more messing around here. Like, I need to be more careful because right now my health is at the lowest and there's really no way to automatically refill it. I could possess this and it will drop a bunch of money, which then I could take this and this And now I can buy pistol ammo if I need any. And I'm ahead on money, so no real reason for too much of a problem there. But with my current possession ability, it doesn't make the most amount of sense to. And see, if I want to go iron sights, that's the right stick. But this guy, I believe, is not still under my possession. Maybe he is. How long does possession last? So, really wasting money here at the beginning. That's a lot of bullets that machine took. And so you would think that this game is gonna center around a lot of the idea of fighting robots. And it does happen, but it doesn't happen as a major element as much as I would have thought it would have. In fact, this game introduces so many different ideas that... There you go, got both of those from a far distance. That it's hard to keep its focus. Then I don't think the game really does. I think it's kind of all over the place. Here we've got come on in, we're open. No longer am I pretending to be a good guy, so instead I will take everything I can do. Don't drink alcohol though, and the game, like BioShock 1, is going to pull this trick on us. It's going to give us whiskey, and you're going to get drunk immediately, it seems, even on one whiskey. So there is alcohol in here. At first I thought this was more of a puritanical thing. Also notice I'm only at like $35 now, so I spent all that money that I collected at the very beginning of the game just on a couple of vigors. Not vigors, but salts. So you can practically guarantee you're going to have to find salt vials like that you won't be able to just pay your way out of that gameplay. And this was the street where everything was closed off. And now we can go. Now we open the gate.
It's getting hot. What's going on?
So we've got a guy that's on fire, kind of like a handyman, and I don't think we ever find another character like this. Now you can start to see what they're looking for.
Kiss. Well, you only live once.
What's funny is that even years later, they still sell little collectibles that look like these bigger bottles, and they're not even a big deal. So your hands burn off and then heal.
Press to throw a fiery grenade. Hold and release to create an explosive trap.
And that's pretty much how it's going to work for all the figures, but we're not going to have that many in the game compared to
no sample.
BioShock, which is more varied. And what they give you in this game are almost all complete copies of what were in the previous BioShock games. You can see though that my fire ability has more uses, so I have like 5 fireballs I can use instead of 2 possessions, and they really just forced us to use possession right now, so we use it once in the gameplay and then forget about it. Health and bullets. We can see that there's a group there. And we can see that there's an oil thing there. And we can see that there's this. And the idea in this is to be more fast-paced. And there's some fireworks we can do. Let's hit these guys. That certainly didn't work that well. And the game is telling me to hit something to heal, to switch between my two abilities. Which button would heal? I don't think I have a button that heals. I'm not sure that in this game you can even hold on to healing kits. And up there is nothing. And we're 41 minutes into the game now. Well, an hour and 41 minutes into the game. So we are actually starting the experience here. But boy, has it been slow up to this point. I would suspect that you might get a little bit less. And we picked up that vigor a second time just to make sure we get it. This almost looks like the tunnels that the little sisters crawl out of, the way that door is. That might be a little bit of a reference there, but probably not. If it is, it's not that good of a reference. I probably shouldn't stand in the oil myself. And we're going to the Blue Ribbon, which is a steakhouse. Boiled fowl, green turtle soup, and roast beef, and a bunch of stuff like that. We'll pick up as much food as we can to refill our health. Right now health is a slight concern, probably not the biggest. And this guy just has a gun there. Interesting. So all that facade of this being a peaceful heaven gets thrown away. Every single normal person you've seen up to this point is gone forever for the rest of the game. You can see some bridge work here that seems like they stole a lot of architectural design from other people. And here we go. And it's asking me, do I want to leave the area or continue? Which in 2017, frankly, these kind of load scenes probably not needed. With a little bit of improvement on their engine, I think they could probably ensure fluid actions back and forth, but I suspect that half of that is actually intentionally graded off so that you just know you're never going back to that section as it is, and you don't have to worry about that section. We're at the code check, and flask of unknown alcohol. I gotta quit doing that. The concept is cool, but I think it's been played out enough with the alcohol and getting drunk, and particularly in this game. Let's see. Season pass awarded. You have 4 gear pieces, a golden machine gun upgrade, and a golden pistol upgrade. And so this is where the game begins. You must collect all of your rewards before continuing to Monument Island. So, where are they? Look back at opening day from the word of the prophet. The dream of the prophet. This is so dumb that they subtitle text. Clearly they were going to put audio to the to this. Columbia's journey begins. So, how did Columbia come about? And we'll see it here, but basically it was part of the United States and then it broke away from the United States. Prophet stands up for foes. 1901, the Chinese boxers take America hostage. And the Prophet and Columbia stand up for America by burning down Peking, China, apparently. What thanks does Columbia get? Washington to Comstock, stand down. We stand behind the Prophet. There we see Comstock. So even the US didn't want him to do what he did. And we secede from the so-called Union. So instead of the Civil War happening, this country actually succeeds and disappears into the clouds. And I imagine if the entire south of the United States could have disappeared into the clouds, the Civil War probably couldn't have been fought as well. Of course, that's a big if. You can see things are flickering like crazy. But to begin with, these here are not in the main game.
We have company.
We do indeed.
Why are you following me?
We were already here.
Why are you following us?
Aperitif.
So, I'm going to have a different experience with all this DLC. Gear is special clothing that they grant you unique skills. You can wear 4 pieces at a time, 1 per type. Manage your gear from the gameplay menu. So new pants, Ghost Soldier. Killing with a vigor trap has a 70% chance to cause the enemy gun to become a ghostly ally. Now, when you find this gear in the main game, it's not specific things like this. And it's randomized. So I've seen people do speed runs of this and have to save and exit just to get the right thing that they need. Ammo advantage. Increase clip size by all weapons by 75%. That's way too much of an improvement for just buying the DLC. Increase weapons damage by 50% on skylines. That's pretty good too. And 70% chance that a melee attack is stunning. Victim is vulnerable for 4 seconds. So, like, I don't know how you get to the gameplay menu. You come back this way. And we haven't even looked at any of this. So, everything is equipped, and you can see at the top, there's a shield, a health, and assault. And we don't have all of these guns yet, storyline wise, so I don't think any of that's gonna happen. And we don't have all of these vigors storyline wise, so, and then the voxophones and all of that. So it's rather crazy. Like, this table probably was the same in the main game. And minus health plus salt, or minus health minus salt. And you have a sink and Lady Comstock. And we'll use the sink. And it steams up. And that door just opens. Now, each one of these vigor things, though, I don't believe were here. Maybe one of them was, but not all of them. So infusion. Increase your maximum health, increase your shield capacity, and increase your salts. So the fact that we know we're going to get a shield capacity just tells me I should infuse to shield. To begin with. And that's going to work very nicely for me. Because a shield, I assume, is going to refill, and that's not something we had in BioShock up to this point. because instead you had health kits that you could pick up, and it seems like they've decided to go a different direction with that. Let's see, Latrice, Lettuce, I don't, that's not how you pronounce these guys' names, but that's it. And you can see she's gonna give me the shield vigor, and that was the only one in this game. Each one of these is DLC extra. So just starting here is insane. You're so much better off than you were before. It's just unfair. I might as well have bumped it up to hard.
The difference between life and death.
Like, seriously, if that was, if I knew I was gonna get all of these extra things, here's a pig, by the way, then I could have played on hard. So we pick up the shield upgrade, adds a magnetic repulsion field to improve defense.
What was that?
Surprising.
Surprising that it worked.
Surprising that it didn't kill him.
But a magnetic repulsive field around one's body can come in handy.
If it doesn't kill you.
A fair point.
So they've given me the shield, and my shield is really, really upgraded. Like, it's supposed to be at 1, it's at 5. We'll find some more things like this. And it will be kind of an interesting choice after I have my shield to maximum, which I would want to use, whether get more health or more...
Father Comstock called on me today
more
to
salt.
write his biograph. Me. The man pays for exactly 100 pages in advance. Now, I'm half a Jew when I smell silver, so I say, Father, your flock would pay for 1,000. You know, why settle for less? And then the prophet looks to me and says, 100 will suffice, as I know how it ends.
So there's all kinds of things that can be picked up and eaten here, but there's a lot of things that can't be. Apparently there are no flies in Colombia because meat can just be hung everywhere. And so we're looking here at different collectibles, bunch of money. Still haven't really recovered though the money I've spent, but I don't think I'll ever actually spend more money on health kits and salts. I'll probably, if I was just to guess off the top of my head right now, I will probably get the shield up to maximum and then start getting salts. That way we can pull off as many vigor attacks.
And worse is the insult, because today is the day that marks our secession from the Sodom below.
So on July 6th they seceded. So they kind of timed it 2 days after July 4th, in which the United States seceded from, or declared their independence from the British colonial government. And so we are now, doesn't seem like there's too much platforming that's desired to be done here. It doesn't seem like they want me to go up there. But there is some jumping and platforming that is supposed to happen here. It's with this.
Hook onto them with this skyhook.
So you just hit A and jump like crazy. And you have this magnetized hook that'll just jump you from place to place. And there's nothing to collect there, no reason to be there. And then if you want to dismount, you have to look on the ground. That being said, why dismount there when you can do this? Hold to pick up a different gun. And we can see some sections that need some work. That doesn't mean, however, we shouldn't go down here and see if we can actually get into Fink manufacturing. I'm pretty sure there was a guy named Fink in BioShock 1 or 2, but I could be wrong. So there's this whole skyhook combat idea that goes on. People set off fireworks, and when they do, it causes trouble for me. You can see the shield regenerating. And this game is supposed to be a little bit fast-paced, but it's not as fast-paced as you might think. And I can't shoot these birds. Interesting. And now we're gonna get the taunts that are so prevalent in games like this. I suppose that's probably true. As best as I can tell, I am probably here to take the lamb character. And see, that looks like that changed. So if I wanted to bump this, did I hit that? And either way, that doesn't seem like it's working, but my health is still full. So it sounds like some females are actually going to attack me in this game, which is interesting. And here you have these weird propulsion abilities that you can see how this ship stays up, and it doesn't really match with Columbia very well. The technology that we see in games at times like doesn't make sense. And see, I'm gonna pick up a lot of things and it's gonna take down my health, and then in the act of taking down my health, it's gonna raise my salt, and then I'll pick something else up that will bring my health back up. And it doesn't really matter because of the shield. Like, but comparing this to Borderlands 1, where you just don't even care about the story, and it runs you to from quest to quest, pointing you directly where you're supposed to go and who you're supposed to kill. It's an interesting trade. Now I had to use the right bump there to switch to my other gun because I'm out of ammo, which is a problem. It seems like when you walk over bullets, you're gonna collect them by default, which is nice. Nice improvement. But you still have to search things if you want to have a higher amount of bullets than just what gets dropped on the ground. The smog is making it difficult to to see. And there's a bit of weirdness here too, because I gotta jump down in here. So you have a guard and a Statue of Liberty. Let's see.
He's going inside.
It wants me down this way. So we yet again see this vigor in case we needed any salt. And was there anything on top? And then this is where the art subtitles would come into play if you had that enabled, is looking at art like this. And you can't really get back. Like, so if there was some small collectible to collect there, that would be it. Can't go through here, can't go through here, and I suppose they probably want me to go that way. Scare the birds. And we're kind of in a quieter section of the game. We're gonna have more chase, obviously, but we're in as good as of a position as we can find for right now. Really has taken 2 hours just to start to figure out the main gameplay elements of this game. So much so that I didn't even remember this game had shields at all. And it was an hour and 40 minutes almost of doing that. And plus since I have the DLC, which you're almost going to get for certain if you buy the game today, you're going to get the complete collection. I don't think they sell anything but that. So you're going to have a much easier time with the game. Not that the game was particularly that difficult in the first place. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.